Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be speaking about basil. I'll probably just start with how I use it, which is a couple of different ways. So one is it's a really good oil to support with any ear discomfort. So I'll either use basil or basil and tea tree, and I'll dilute and then apply all around my ear on the mastoid bone and then up and down my neck. I I had a really bad um, period of ear discomfort, and I applied it topically, but I actually found a lot more relief by popping it on a tissue and then sticking the tissue in my ear, and then sleeping on that. So that really helped. What else do I use it for? It's in my son's blend, his chill out blend. So I'm that one's aimed more for when he's going through growth spurts. And basically, what I did was I just looked up in the emotions and essential oils book what oils were good for being overwhelmed and overstimulated, because I find that's really what gets him crying, clingy, and cranky when he's going through a growth spurt. It's just a really overwhelming time. And so basil is the one that really sticks out to me in that blend. I also use it for myself for emotional support. So basil is the oil of renewal. Really good oil for people that find themselves, I want to say really highly stressed, but it's mainly like depleted, low energy, touched out, just like zonked, basically, if that's even a word. But being a mum of two small children, so I've got a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, tandem breastfeeding them and tandem co-sleeping, because I don't get much of that in the bed, everyone else does. But I can often find myself feeling a bit depleted, low energy, and then once you're in that state, everything's just kind of stressful. So I use basil. So whether I diffuse it with any other citrus oils that I'm feeling for that day, but basil's always in there. Yeah, it's just got such a, I want to say it's like almost like minty kind of smell, but it's not. Yeah, so I'll diffuse it or I'll just apply it topically to me, so I can feel the benefits of it. But I'm going to read actually from my books a couple of the other different ways, because those are the main ways that I use them. But everybody uses oils differently. So someone that doesn't have small children isn't going to use it in the same way I do. So I just want to share a couple of different ways. So I'm going to take a few out of the Essential Life Basics book for basil. So adrenal fatigue, it says to apply under the nose. So yeah, it's the same sort of thing as like an emotional support. So a lot of the symptoms of adrenal fatigue are low energy, because I think your adrenal glands produce hormones, and it's really responsive to stress. So like your flight and fight response. And so basil works really well with anybody that suffers from adrenal fatigue and symptoms related. So it's got earache there, loss of sense of smell, helps with migraines and dizziness. Oh, I didn't know that. I might try that. Mental fatigue and focus. So yeah, that is one thing I wanted to say. When I'm in those high stressed times, it primarily comes from just like overthinking and just like a lot of mental strain, as opposed to like I don't really move around and do much that sort of stuff to get that fatigued. And it's also good for nausea, cramping, gout, rheumatism, PMS, and menstrual issues. And I guess that makes sense when your adrenal glands release hormones. And just an emotional balance. Use aromatically and topically to get from inundated to relieved. Yes, that sounds good. And then I've got just some information from the emotions book. So I'll just read a section of it. Basil oil is also helpful for recovery from negative habits. It gives hope and optimism to the tired soul. Basil may assist an individual in giving up false stimulants or helping with substance abuse. Oh, that's interesting. By increasing natural energy, it helps individuals to achieve greater balance and in health. Balance and health. In short, basil is indicated for those who are weary in mind and body, and for those in need of strength and renewal. So, oh, here we go. I've got a visitor. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Oh, you like basil? Do you like basil?
Yeah.
Tell everybody, here's basil.
Basil.
Basil's good for you.
Bad for me.
Bad for you. No, okay. Well,
Bad for you.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Yeah, okay. All right then, everyone. See you.